SpaceX is one of the world's most valuable private companies. Yet recently, its stock has been falling. For many investors, that sounds like bad news. But experienced investors often ask a different question: is this actually an opportunity hiding in plain sight? When prices suddenly drop, emotions usually take over. Fear spreads quickly across the market, and many investors rush to sell. But history has shown that the biggest opportunities often appear when everyone else is focused on short-term panic. Every successful investment begins with one important question: has the business changed, or has only the stock price changed? Understanding this difference separates long-term investors from short-term traders. Imagine finding your dream house at a 20% discount. The house hasn't changed. Only the asking price has. Stocks can work the same way. Sometimes prices fall while the underlying business remains just as strong. This is why experienced investors don't simply ask whether a stock is falling. They ask whether the company is becoming more valuable despite temporary market volatility. One major reason investors remain optimistic about SpaceX is Starship. More than just another rocket, Starship represents the foundation for reusable space transportation on a scale the world has never seen before. If Starship succeeds, launch costs could fall dramatically. Lower costs would make satellites, space missions, lunar exploration, and even Mars colonization far more affordable than ever before. Markets don't just value today's profits. They constantly try to estimate tomorrow's possibilities. That's why breakthrough technologies often attract attention years before they generate significant revenue. When investors buy SpaceX today, many aren't simply investing in rockets. They're investing in the future of transportation, communication, manufacturing, and perhaps even humanity's expansion into space. This explains why temporary declines don't always scare long-term investors. Sometimes a falling stock simply creates a better entry point into an extraordinary business. So why has SpaceX's stock been falling? Like most high-growth companies, even positive businesses experience periods of market uncertainty. Investors react to news, expectations, and emotions, sometimes more than the actual fundamentals. Recently, SpaceX shares declined more than 14% over just a few trading sessions. For some investors, that's a warning sign. For others, it's exactly the kind of opportunity they've been waiting for. One reason the market is paying close attention is the upcoming Starship launch. Every successful test brings SpaceX one step closer to transforming the economics of space travel. UBS analyst Gavin Parsons recently suggested that the recent pullback could actually present an attractive buying opportunity ahead of Starship's next major milestone. His view reflects what many long-term investors are quietly watching. For Wall Street, the launch isn't just about a rocket leaving the ground. It's about proving technology, reducing future costs, and increasing confidence in SpaceX's long-term business model. Every successful launch demonstrates more than engineering excellence. It strengthens customer confidence, attracts future contracts, and reinforces SpaceX's leadership in the rapidly growing commercial space industry. This is why markets often react before the results are fully visible. Investors don't simply buy today's business, they invest in tomorrow's potential. Of course, every launch carries risk. Space exploration has never been easy. Testing new technology means accepting setbacks, learning from failures, and continuously improving with every mission. Throughout history, nearly every groundbreaking innovation has faced skepticism before achieving success. Aviation, electric vehicles, reusable rockets, they all experienced periods of doubt before changing entire industries. That's why experienced investors often focus less on daily price movements and more on the company's long-term ability to execute its vision. For them, patience can become one of the most valuable investment strategies. This is where professional investors begin thinking differently. Instead of asking why the stock is falling, they ask a far more important question: what could this business look like 5 or even 10 years from now? History shows that some of the best investment opportunities appear when fear dominates the market. While many investors rush for the exit, others quietly begin building their positions. Financial markets don't simply react to today's numbers. They constantly try to price tomorrow's possibilities. Every breakthrough, every innovation, and every milestone can reshape expectations almost overnight. For SpaceX, the future extends far beyond launching rockets. The company is building an entire ecosystem of reusable transportation, satellite communications, and deep space exploration that could redefine multiple industries. Innovation has always been SpaceX's greatest asset. From reusable boosters to next-generation engines, every technological breakthrough creates advantages that competitors struggle to match. One successful engine test may seem like a small achievement, but behind it lies years of research, engineering, and relentless problem-solving. Sometimes a single breakthrough changes the future of an entire company. Quarterly earnings may influence headlines, but true innovation unfolds over years, not months. Companies focused on long-term progress often look beyond short-term financial noise. Starlink has already become one of the world's largest satellite internet networks. By connecting remote communities across the globe, it generates recurring revenue while strengthening SpaceX's overall business. Unlike many companies that rely on a single product, SpaceX is developing multiple engines of growth, from commercial launches and government contracts to satellite internet and future space transportation. This is why many investors no longer see SpaceX as simply a rocket company. They see it as an infrastructure company building the foundation for the next era of the global space economy. Every rocket launch carries enormous risk. Years of engineering, billions of dollars, and countless hours of testing all come down to just a few critical minutes. Success is never guaranteed. That's why investing in companies like SpaceX isn't about certainty. It's about understanding calculated risk. Great rewards have often come to investors willing to look beyond temporary uncertainty. Behind every successful launch are thousands of engineers solving problems most people never see. Innovation isn't created overnight, it's built through persistence, precision, and constant improvement. Failure may look dramatic on television, but in aerospace, every setback becomes valuable data. Each test reveals weaknesses, improves future designs, and moves the technology one step closer to success. History has shown that breakthrough companies rarely follow a smooth path. The road to innovation is filled with setbacks, but those willing to learn from failure often become industry leaders. Long-term investors understand this better than anyone. Instead of reacting to every headline, they focus on whether the company continues making meaningful progress toward its larger vision. Short-term market volatility is like rough waves on the ocean. They may shake the surface, but they rarely change the destination of a strong ship sailing toward a clear objective. Headlines come and go every single day. Markets react within minutes. But building revolutionary technology takes years of disciplined execution, patience, and relentless innovation. Professional investors spend less time predicting tomorrow's stock price and more time understanding tomorrow's business. That's often where lasting wealth is created. As SpaceX expands its launch capabilities and develops new infrastructure, it's not simply building rockets. It's helping create the foundation for an entirely new space economy that could shape the decades ahead. The space industry is no longer just about exploration. It's becoming one of the world's fastest-growing economic frontiers, attracting billions of dollars in investment and opening entirely new markets. Every major technological revolution has created enormous wealth for those who recognized its potential early. Some investors believe commercial space could become the next transformation on that scale. Imagine a future where mining resources on the moon, manufacturing in orbit, and building permanent lunar bases become part of everyday business. What once sounded like science fiction is slowly becoming reality. Mars isn't simply another destination. For SpaceX, it's the ultimate long-term vision, a mission that drives innovation today while inspiring technologies that benefit life here on Earth. Space tourism may still seem exclusive today, but history shows that breakthrough technologies often become more affordable over time. Just as air travel evolved, commercial spaceflight could eventually follow a similar path. Factories in orbit may one day manufacture products impossible to create on Earth. Microgravity opens opportunities in advanced materials, pharmaceuticals, and technologies that are only beginning to be explored. Starlink is already changing how millions of people connect to the internet. By delivering high-speed access to remote communities, it demonstrates how SpaceX's business extends far beyond launching rockets. The future space economy won't rely on a single industry. It will connect communications, transportation, manufacturing, research, tourism, and logistics into one interconnected ecosystem. Long-term investors often ask themselves one simple question: where will the world be 10 or 20 years from now? The answer to that question frequently shapes the investments they choose today. If humanity truly becomes a multiplanetary civilization, companies building that future today could become some of the most influential businesses of the 21st century. That's the possibility many investors see when they look at SpaceX. Every great investment story includes moments of doubt. Markets rise and fall, headlines change, and emotions fluctuate. But long-term wealth is often built by those who remain calm when everyone else is uncertain. The biggest opportunities rarely arrive with complete certainty. They usually appear disguised as fear, volatility, and negative headlines. The challenge is learning to separate temporary noise from lasting value. Patience has always been one of the most powerful investment advantages. While many people chase quick profits, successful investors often allow time, innovation, and compounding to do the heavy lifting. Buying during uncertainty doesn't guarantee success. But history shows that many of the world's greatest companies experience periods when investors question their future, right before achieving extraordinary growth. For SpaceX, every new rocket, every successful mission, and every engineering breakthrough builds towards something much larger than quarterly results. It's part of a long-term vision that continues to reshape the aerospace industry. Humanity has always advanced by pushing beyond the impossible. From crossing oceans to landing on the moon, progress has always required bold ideas, relentless innovation, and people willing to think decades ahead. Whether SpaceX ultimately becomes one of history's greatest investments remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: the company has already transformed how the world thinks about space exploration and reusable rocket technology. As investors, it's important to remember that no stock is guaranteed to succeed. Every investment carries risk, which is why careful research, diversification, and a long-term mindset remain essential. Perhaps the biggest lesson isn't simply whether to buy SpaceX. It's understanding how transformational businesses are built, and why markets often underestimate innovation in its earliest stages. The next chapter of the space economy is only beginning to unfold. Whether you're an investor or simply fascinated by innovation, one question remains. Will you watch history happen, or will you understand it before everyone else? If you enjoyed this deep dive into SpaceX, investing, and the future of the global space economy, subscribe to Cashflow Funda for more easy-to-understand documentaries on finance, economics, investing, and the technologies shaping tomorrow. And now we'd love to hear from you. Do you think SpaceX is a long-term investment opportunity, or would you wait for a bigger pullback? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of Cashflow Funda.